and welcome back to my channel. If you are watching this video, then I'm pretty sure that you're into some fridge cleaning and fridge organizing. It's that time of the week where I do our big grocery shop, and this is the time where I really give a deep clean to our fridge and I organize everything that we've bought for the fortnight. The reason why I shop on a fortnightly basis is purely to avoid food wastage and to stay within budget. We truly believe not to waste food, to buy exactly what we need to make those meals and everything that's on our grocery list, and don't overspend on things that we don't need or things that need to be used in a short amount of time that we know we're not going to use, and then it goes to waste. So this is why we've tested this for over 5 years now, and it's really helped our family to stay within our beliefs of avoiding wasting food. So it's that time of the week. We've got our groceries. The first thing that I like to do with our groceries is soak our fruits and veg in the kitchen sink using the Norwex produce wash. I'll link where you can buy this in the description box below. This is not sponsored. I bought this and I absolutely love it. Or you can typically use vinegar or any other sort of cleaning method that you like. That's totally up to you. You can clean your produce before you put them in the fridge or after. That is entirely up to you and what works for your family. What works for me may not work for you. Just find that balance and find what works for you and then just stick with it. This is what works for me, so this is what I'm going to share with you guys. So we've got our fruits and veg soaking in the kitchen sink, and then the next thing I like to do is literally take everything from inside of our fridge. Once I take out the things from inside the fridge, I also like to give a deep clean to the drawers. I've got one that is still soaking in the laundry sink and this one is done. And I also clean the shelves, wipe everything down using a homemade lemon blend, using just distilled water and a few drops of lemon essential oils. Absolutely love it. It's perfect. It just gives that beautiful citric, I don't know, that citrus smell. It smells clean. There's no other way of putting it. It smells clean. It smells amazing. So you have to try it to know exactly what I mean. So that's what I like to do. I start off with the shelves and then I'll work to our fridge doors. Now, with the fridge doors, I'm always getting asked, whenever I post a fridge photo on my Instagram, where are your condiments? Where are your juices? Where are your milks? Where do you place them in your fridge? Because my photo is always focused on the inside of my fridge. It's simple. They sit in my fridge doors. Every fridge has shelving in the doors, and I just find it's the perfect place to put all the jars, sauces, our milk and juices go here, everything. So this is where we put our condiments. All of that stuff goes in the doors. So what I'm going to do, I do this also once a fortnight. I go through expiry dates of all the sauces and jars, make sure that everything is still good to use. Anything that's not, obviously we discard it, give the shelves a clean, and then we're ready to prepare all our fruits and veg and food for inside the fridge, because everything's clean. Once everything's clean, I'll show you how I like to store, what containers and all of that. But for now, let's get cleaning. So let's get to it. I'm almost done with storing the produce that goes on the shelves of our fridge. into containers. Now, if you have seen my fridge photos surfing social media, then you would know just how much I absolutely love glass containers. I'm always getting asked where they're from. Majority of them are from IKEA, so wherever you are in the world, you will find these containers that I use. Majority of them are at your local IKEA. Now, I do have other glass containers from other places. So for instance, this one here, this is a glass container that is divided. So it's got one section here, and then there's a glass divider, and then a section here. So you can have, they're perfect for lunch prep. So you can have some rice, you can have some grilled chicken or fish, take off the lid, pop it into the oven or the microwave to heat it up, and it's good to go. We have stored some of the tomatoes and onion in one, and a medley of chopped up capsicums in the other from taco night last night. So these are perfect. These were from 𝐒𝐤𝐿𝐵. I'll link them in the description box below as well. But just to note, you guys, all these products that I'm showing you are not sponsored, are not gifted, in no way. I have bought every single piece, I've trialed them over the years, and this is what works for us. It may not work for other families, but it works for us, and it's done its job for over 2 years now, which is why I'm so confident to share, because it works. Now, yeah, so just wanted to put it out there that it's not sponsored content or not sponsored products at all. I've bought every single piece, I've trialed and errored. There's things that I've bought over the years that just didn't work, there's things that did, and this is our, you know, our things that we use every single day in our fridge, and yeah, like I can't recommend them enough. So majority of glass containers so far from IKEA, these ones from 𝐒𝐿𝐵. I'll share them in the link below. There's also some silicone pouches that you can use. It depends on the size of the fridge that you have and how much space you have to store what you need. These are silicone bags. I've had carrots in here. These ones are about almost a month old. Still beautiful and fresh. Beautiful and fresh. They're not limp at all. They're not soft. They're still really good to use. So these work really well. I also use silicone bags to store my meat in the freezer, which I'll do a completely different video about how I organize our freezer. But for now, you can use these in the fridge as well. So that's that. Now, when it comes to mushrooms, I get asked this a lot on how do I store our mushrooms. I use a mushroom bag. This seems funny at first when you think about it. It's so funny because it's got mushrooms and, you know, mushroom bag. When I first got it, I was like, oh, I don't know if this works. It's probably one of those things that it's just more for decor purposes, but it's not. You guys, this is amazing. I don't know what it is, but it's been proven that the black fabric that's inside is what keeps the mushrooms fresh, but I don't know. All I know that is it works. I did an experiment over the Christmas break. We went on holidays and I left a few mushrooms in the mushroom bag. This is when I first got it. And I left them in the fridge. I wanted to see just how long they would last, because we went on a holiday for close to a month. And I would know if the duration that I had left them, if it's good or not and whatever. So once we came back from holidays and I seen that the mushrooms were still fresh, you guys, like I couldn't believe it. I still don't believe it. Like, we use mushrooms real quickly. Like we use them so quickly that I don't know how long they can usually last in a bag like this, but I do know it does keep them fresh by the time we are able to use them. So after our holiday, close to a month, they were still beautiful, so fresh and usable. They weren't, you know, they weren't slimy, they weren't gross. It was, yeah, it was really, really good. So I highly recommend mushrooms stored this way. We store shredded cheese in a glass container, of course, same thing from IKEA. This is probably like a medium size. We also go through cheese so quickly, so this will be done, this will be used up within the week. We love our cheese, and it does keep your cheese nice and fresh as well. It doesn't go that ugly, gross, crusty cheese. No, it stays nice and fresh. Another question that I get asked so much is about the bamboo lids that I use in the fridge. You probably see some of the lids in my fridge photos are bamboo. Now, these are the ones. They're also from IKEA, so these are round ones. And I always get asked if they're good, what do I recommend them, and all of that. Now these lids are 2 years old. They're perfect, they're still usable, there's no mold whatsoever on them, but I do use them for particular things. I don't recommend them to be used with anything that's wet inside. So for instance, we've got leftover soup in here. I would not put a bamboo lid on top. We've got, for instance, cut up veggies that have a lot of moisture in there. I will not put a bamboo lid on top. I will instead use the full clip lid. I'll use it, but in saying that, what I do use them for, I will use them for, strawberries. I will use them for carrots. I will use them for blackberries. I find them, they're fine. I use them for some pine nuts. I've got some almonds in here. I've got some almond flakes, and then this one I've got some cut up garlic. They're still perfectly fine. So yeah, that's my only recommendation, is that just pick and choose what you use them for. Be very aware that you don't want that excessive moisture in the inside. And what I'd like to do, if I say want to use a bamboo lid for something that is wet, for instance, this, and I want to put a bamboo lid, if I know that I'm going to use it within 2 days, that's fine. But if you want to store something for the week or for like the fortnight, for something to maximize its lifespan in the fridge, I don't recommend it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And what's really great about the IKEA containers, excuse me, what's really great about them is the fact that each container you have 2 options of lids. So I'll give you a little example with the lids that you have, like the option of lids. So you've got this one here that has the blue ring with the 4 clips. You've got this one, and on this particular size of the container you can also use the bamboo lid as well. They both fit. So you've got an option of this, or you've got an option of that, and it comes in the round size, the small sizes, every size that you need. So that's what I really like about the IKEA containers. Like for instance, if you had bought the container and then you bought a bamboo lid and you weren't really happy with it, you can just go back to IKEA and buy the other lid separately, so the container doesn't go to waste. It's just the lid alternative, which is really great. I love that. Another thing is we store our eggs in an acrylic container. Now this is really great because we go through eggs so much. We love making eggs, for breakfast, for Sunday breakfast, boiled eggs for the kids' lunches. So we go through them a lot. So we've got 2 of these, and then we just stack them on top of each other in the fridge. Now in some of my fridge photos over social media, you would see that I've got like a really cute ceramic egg dish. So pretty, I absolutely love using it, but it's not practical when we have so many eggs. Like we can only fit a dozen. So if we've got a dozen, I use it, but if not, I don't. But it's no big deal. I highly recommend these, especially if you're someone like us and you use a lot of eggs. You can buy more than one and then just stack them on top of each other, and you know that they don't take up much room at all. So I'll link where to get these from. If you were in Australia, I got these from Kmart. I know Big W have them. If you are somewhere in another country, check Amazon, check your storage shops as well. But I'll definitely try my best to find a link similar to these. So keep an eye out for that. Another question I get asked so much is, how do you have baskets in the fridge? How do they hold up with the moisture and all of that? Now, I've trialed 3 different baskets, like different kind of making baskets that have different materials. This is a seagrass. I've tried authentic wicker, and I've tried a cheaper version of a basket woven I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a cheaper basket that you would find at the dollar store compared to, for instance, IKEA have an actual wicker basket. Like it's the authentic type of basket. They've got them as well. I've tried those, they work beautiful, and they hold up really well with the moisture, nothing happens to them. With the cheaper ones, don't recommend them whatsoever. They do not hold up, they are not good. So don't go for them. I find seagrass holds up so beautifully. Nothing happens to them. I've used these for 2 years in the fridge. You guys, they're perfect. I had no issues whatsoever. And after, you know, using these, that's why I've ordered little ones as well, because I love that look. I know it's that aesthetic kind of thing with the fridge. You can use acrylic containers and put everything in there, but I'm just someone that loves the country style of living. I love, you know, incorporating that throughout everything throughout our home. It's just something that I love doing, and yeah, I love using the baskets in the fridge. It's just my signature touch, and I love the fact that so many people across the world have been doing the same, and they've been saying that it's encouraging them and the kids to, you know, eat the fruits and veggies more, which is great. Like that's amazing. Anything but wasting food is a plus for me. So yeah, seagrass, keep that in mind, works beautifully well in the fridge. Don't go for cheap wicker baskets. They would mold, they would smell, and it's definitely not something I recommend. So yeah, I think I've covered majority of what I use. So yeah, now time to close everything and place them into the fridge. So let's get started.